Welcome to NEXTGames Ambuscade series. This one covering the April 2021 Volume 1 against Meebles. Now in this video, I'll cover the key item acquisition for this month. I'll go over into the Volume 1 battle strategies for both solo and party play, and then show you two battle examples for this month, both on easy, one on ninja, and the other on Red Mage. Now this month for your key item, you only need a single worm kill if you're going to do this one time a day. Or if you're going to do it multiple times in a day, you'll need 3 worm kills for all those additional runs. Now for your single run per day, pretty much any worm will do, even ones right outside of Bastook. Now for multiple runs a day, I suggest the Den of Rancor, home point number 1, which has worms mixed in among the toneberries and bats, and should make it pretty easy to get your key item this. Now this month's Intense Ambuscade is against a single Meeble, who can at times be assisted by many others. The Bozzetto Breadwinner is the main boss this month, and is the only one that needs defeated for success. Now during the fight, he can summon multiple Bozzetto urchins, which don't really have much hit points, but can actually hit very hard and also have access to 100 Fist and Soul Eater. Now if the Breadwinner is silenced, his ability to summon these urchins is significantly reduced, so much so that in the 10 runs I did, I only had them summon once in all of those 10 silenced runs. Additionally, you need to be aware that there is a Bozzetto Housemaker that will start the run in the far corner that is furthest distant from you, and at a random time will charge at a single person in your group and use Earthshaker, which will be shown in your log presently as a vertical slash, and if you are anywhere near him or the other party members when this goes off, you will all die as it does 4,000 to 5,000 damage to each of you. However, if you start running away from your party as soon as you see him charging at you, then you will normally be hit with only about 1,000 damage, allowing you to survive it. Now the Housemaker will then retreat to a random spot in the arena and rest until he decides to charge at you once again, and the entire process repeats. Now before I get into the abilities, I need to point out that there is an issue this month with the abilities and the way they're presenting in the log. It looks like that for most people, we are still getting Toneberry abilities even though we are on the Meeble run. So therefore I'm going to give 2 abilities for each of these, because it's possible they'll fix it sometime during the month. The first ability we're going to discuss is Thrashing Assault, which currently in the log is showing as everyone's Rancor. This is a 4-hit damage and defense down ability that is absorbed by Force Shadows. The next is Fire Meeble Warble, which is currently showing in the log as Words of Bane. This is an AoE fire damage ability that inflicts Plague and Burn. The next is Blizzard Meeble Warble, which is currently showing in the log as Sigh. This is an AoE ice damage ability that inflicts Paralysis and Frost. The next one is Arrow Meeble Warble, which is currently showing in the log as Pierce Vitals. This is an AoE air damage ability that inflicts Silence and Choke. The next is Stone Meeble Warble, which is a lateral slash as shown in the log, and it is an AoE stone damage ability that inflicts Petrification and Rasp. The next one is Thunder Meeble Warble, which is shown in the log as Light of Penance, and this is an AoE thunder damage ability that inflicts Stun and Choke. The next one is Water Meeble Warble, and this is shown in the log as a vertical slash, and it is an AoE water damage, poison, and drown ability. Now the last time this run was around, there was a Drill Claw ability that I have not seen yet, but it's supposed to be a single target damage ability that will also inflict max hit point down and TP down. Now in regards to a strategy on this one, as always, you want to start the run with full buffs and pull the Breadwinner to the starting corner, where you should hold him and get damage in as quickly as possible. Enfeebles land quite easily, so I suggest fully enfeebling him with everything you have available to you. Weapon skills do good damage, with Magic Burst and skill chains doing average damage. I found either a strong weapon skill or multi-step skill chain is the best overall DPS you can achieve here. Now you want to make sure that you keep the Breadwinner silenced at all times in order to avoid the urchins being summoned, and I had no issues landing silence with a sub-job Red Mage, so keep that in mind, though this was on the easy difficulty. Now if you are solo, you want to keep an eye out for the Housemaker starting to head towards you at all times. If he is, you want to immediately start running away from your party and from the Housemaker. Keep him silenced yourself, and if you happen to get unlucky enough to have some urchins spawned, switch to them and kill them immediately with a single skill chain. Now if you're in a party setup on the higher difficulties, you will want to make sure that you have a person responsible for using bar spells. Bar Blizzard and Bar Paralyze work very well in this fight. Now that person is who the Housemaker is going to charge at when he decides to stand. That person who's casting those bar spells in the group needs to really be paying attention to that Housemaker at all times and ready to run away from both him and your party when he charges at you. Now there are also an alarming amount of debuffs that the party can end up with during this fight. So if you're in a party setup, make sure that you can deal with that situation, as it can be overwhelming for some mages. Now when I'm soloing on Ninja, I'm going to be focused on getting Enfeebles in first, also lowering his defense with Tachi Egha. After that, I will use my multi-step light skill chain of 10 Camu Shun Shun to get damage in as quickly as possible. Now I need to keep my eyes out for that Housemaker at all times, and keep that main Meebles silenced at all times as well. Make sure you take advantage of your other Red Mage buffs, such as Inspel and Stone Skin. Now on Red Mage, you will want to let RKV do most of the tanking for the fight. So if you start taking much of the hate, you want to go ahead and stop weapon skilling and just do regular melee attacks for a few rounds, so that RKV can re-establish hate. Now keep the Breadwinner fully enfeebled at all times, of course especially silence, and be ready for that Housemaker to come at you. Now let's talk about trust strategy for this month. Now if you're not able to tank the Meeble yourself, you want to go ahead and use RKV to tank. That's what I'll be using when I'm on Red Mage. Now you're normally going to start pulling hate by the end of this run, so make sure that you have the Ninja sub job just in case to be able to delay it so that your tank can get hate back. Now I'll be using Korumoru when I'm on my Ninja, as I will need Red Mage for haste and Dia. Then I'm also going to be using Sethtus to help keep everyone's hit points and magic points topped off with Rejuvenation. That'll be on both Ninja and Red Mage. Also on Ninja and Red Mage, I'll be using Joaquin for marches and emergency curing. And then we'll be using Monburo and Yoran Oran for cures. Let's go ahead and see what our battle examples look like. Enjoy the runs, everyone. going to be it for the April 2021 Intense Ambuscade. I hope you found that helpful. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next month.
Everyone stay safe and stay healthy out there.